There was a study done last year that showed up to 50% of young Americans between the ages of 18 and 30 are open to the idea of using an AI chatbot for therapy. And I'm here to tell you why I believe that that's extremely dangerous and fucked up. I've been there myself, and on the surface I can see why it would be appealing. It's something that you could put your problems into and get a logical, tailored response that might help you, right? I don't think so. I think in order to make this argument, you need to have a basic understanding of how these work. I'm not an expert, but to make a long story short, it's essentially designed to give you an answer that you're going to accept. It's going to give you something that is going to basically pass, and you're going to not necessarily even agree with, but accept, if that makes sense. And I think it takes maybe a little bit of thinking to kind of understand how that applies. But basically, what it's going to do is put you in an echo chamber on steroids. At best, you're going to stay exactly where you are. At worst, you're going to dig yourself deeper into whatever hole it is that you're in. And how that works is when you give your emotional situation, your life situation to this chatbot, it's going to analyze your language and your sentiment, and it's going to package it up with sophisticated language and advanced techniques that cause you to accept the answer that it spits back out at you, which essentially is just going to validate and reinforce whatever opinions that you have. At the end of the day, it's also important to understand that these programs, they don't care about you. There's no incentive really for it to give you good advice on those kind of subjects. Now, if you're researching or you're trying to summarize information, of course, I'm not saying that these chatbots are completely useless. But the thing is, using it for emotional support or as a therapist is incredibly dangerous. And even if they were to create a perfect chatbot, there is such a terrifying danger of putting your psychological well-being in the hands of a fucking machine. So just think about that before you do it. And again, if you're doing this, I've been there, I get it. I know what it feels like to really just need help, and maybe that's the only thing that you feel like you can turn to. But I'll tell you what happened to me. I did this briefly. I was kind of in a tough spot in my life, so I put it in and I tried to see what answers I could get. So maybe kind of casually over the span of a few weeks. And luckily, I realized pretty quickly what was going on, and I was able to, well, stop doing that. But what I realized is that, hey, this is just helping reinforce, like basically every time it gives me something, it's just helping me craft really elaborate and believable excuses. And believable in the sense that it is tailored specifically to my communication style and psychology to be acceptable. So I'll accept that and reinforce whatever basically I'm putting in. It's a mirror. And what happened to me is I just ended up going nowhere and staying stuck. And one day I kind of woke up and I realized this is dangerous. I'm in a feedback loop. So consider that. And if you're like me, if you don't know me, this channel is all about me trying to improve my life and get better. It's my kind of self-improvement journey. So if you're like me, let me tell you what actually helped. By the way, if you have a similar experience, if you've used these chatbots for this kind of thing, I would love to hear about it. So please let me know in the comments. But what actually helped me was taking action. And I'm sure you've heard that before. And if I can just be another voice to confirm that for you, then that's great. But the thing is, for me, what actually caused things to change was taking action, getting clear on my purpose, cutting out the bad shit from my life, and doing things every day that earn my own respect and moving in the right direction. Now, obviously that's another topic for a different video, but that's what helped for me. So really, I just want you to be aware that I think you're doing something dangerous. So just think about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.